Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Deck Sim live stream. Today it's 24th of November 2024. It's 33 minutes past 8 in the evening. We're back in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 for a dedicated stream testing the default 737 MAX. Now, when we did our inaugural stream the other day, we flew this aircraft. We had some interesting flights. This is just purely to do a full flight from A to B, following SOP standard procedures. I've chosen a really great setting today. We're in Jersey, in the Channel Islands, flying to Glasgow. Flight time of 1 hour and 10 minutes. There's a reason I chose this route, because the weather is absolutely atrocious at both of these airports. Storm Bert, can't remember what it's called. I'm glad to be off today. Is blowing a hoolie right now at Jersey with a max crosswind takeoff to contend with at 30 knots, and at Glasgow the wind is currently 41 knots. Yes, down the runway at least. So we're going to see how the aircraft handles dynamically, see if we can actually fly the airplane realistically in any way at all, because we know it doesn't have the fidelity of a good quality third-party add-on. But is it actually usable? Can I follow standard SOPs and procedures and fly this aircraft accurate enough from A to B? Maybe it's a good introduction aircraft for people into desktop simulation. But what I do really like, I'm in the walk-around mode now. I've just launched the sim. You can see how windy it is. Look at the pitot tubes blowing the wind and in the correct direction as well. So that's a good start. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Now, a lot of people are referencing 330 Driver's video. Someone sent me a link to that in my Discord. He deemed to crash on takeoff, and he's really pushing this MCAS theory. I think he didn't set the trim for takeoff. That might be why it didn't take off. Yeah, we flew it the other day, and the trim is wrong. It's very broken, but if you set the correct trim for takeoff, you can rotate normally. But yeah, in pitch, the trim is far too aggressive. It's all up and down. We're going to probably have a runway excursion today anyway, because I did a takeoff earlier, and I couldn't keep it on the runway with even a 25 knot crosswind. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it behaves. But hey ho, let's see how we get on. Corn Addict, how are you? Have they finally included Route 2 on default Boeings? I don't think it's got that level of immersion. We'll check, but I don't think it has. 1174 is here. Domino Senior. Domino Senior's here, so I hope you're doing well, buddy. It was gusting 37 at Heathrow. Noob. I'm sorry. Pretty windy here. Gusting 30. It's right. Just under the limits there as well. Corn Addict, hopefully some talented dev can improve the default aircraft if or when a Sovo decrypts them. Yes. And sorry about the livery here. I selected the Max Boeing livery, but it's gone for this funky painted one. It actually doesn't look too bad, so we'll just go with that today as well. Captain Bruce's career mode went good for me. It's funny. Yeah, I've made a new playlist for the career mode. Did you guys enjoy that the other day? We'll continue the story of my virtual career in a stream soon. I've actually got a lot of standbys this week, so it'll be a great opportunity to have some fun and explore the sim a little bit further. Also, look what I have spent this evening setting up. My yoke is all up and ready. All my peripherals have been set up. My camera views as well. It's running as it did before in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. Slush Puppies, thank you for the 5 months. Evening Captain, just about to give the updated Phoenix a while. Yes, I've heard that Phoenix is now compatible with 2024. That was a quick update, wasn't it? I think PMDG said it's going to take them months of work, but yeah, great to see that we've got already a high fidelity airline to test in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Andre referencing a key operational risk area runway excursion. Yes, we'll see how we get on today. Did you have to change your TCA yoke settings more specifically with Dead Zone? No, I haven't had to go into that much detail, 737 Sim Pilot, but it's sort of working okay. I've not done a full test sector in it today, just a takeoff to see how we got on. But anyway, let's get the show on the road. We'll try and use some of these default charts as well. Word of warning, I used this tablet just before the stream to load in-game the cargo, and it's really glitchy and buggy. For example, you calculate your total mass, and it completely changes it when you update it. So just be very careful when it crashes. So I've loaded the weights now and the fuel to match what the SimBrief profile says. Greg Scott, I hope you're doing well. Only a mere 60 months as a member. Evening Captain, I'm not prepared to jump into this hot mess that is 2024 yet. I'll stick with X-Plane 12. Absolutely great sim still. One thing I will say about 2024, I fired it up and it's loading now instantly. Things seem to be loading in quicker. Again, this is a test of the weather and whatnot today. We're just 12 hours behind live time, so we can enjoy the views. But looking up, you can sort of tell it's a 30 knot wind. It sounds like it's 30 knot wind. And as we walk on in towards the aircraft, you can see the pitot tubes here. Now, I would like the option to possibly bypass this in the future. You never walk to an aircraft as a commercial airline pilot, certainly my operator anyway, with static pitot covers on, pitot covers as well, or the engine covers. So you got like how you open it, and it's already spinning in the wind though. It's a neat feature. And the ground crew would remove the chocks, but you know, GA fair enough, but not in a commercial jet airliner like this. Anyway, I've done that already. I've completed the walk around. The external model is very nice on this aircraft actually. It does look just like a Max indeed, but we're ready to board at least, so we shall now jump in here. Perfect. Let's jump on into the cabin and the cockpit. There we are. Boop. In we are. And I've saved all my pre-save views, look, so if you look at my YouTube community post, you'll find my link here, but look at all this. You press the buttons on the numpad to have all your pre-save views. Works really, really well in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 as well. Sim737 Pilot, thank you very much. Member for 34 months. Howdy Captain, returning to the flight deck after 1 year. Rejoin channel and resubbed 2024. Lured me back in though. Haven't purchased it yet. Well, you'll be able to see what it's all about, Sim737 Pilot. Welcome back and thank you for rejoining and thank you for your support again. Appreciate it, buddy. Sabrina says, good blustery day all, just picked up the Aviators Edition, 4 hours in and press, just hope the few bugs get addressed soon. They will do, and it's working so much better than it did on our first 2 streams at the end of last week. Anyway, let's see how we get on today. So, battery on, sort of GPU is on, I think, there we are, it's making noises. Electric hydraulic pumps are on, landing gear lever is down, we have 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6 green lights, and then we check all the aircraft documentation. Now there is a massive bug which I really don't like, and I thought there was an issue with the aircraft. You see how the flight out and land out is blanked out? You have to turn up the panel lighting to actually see it. Even off, you can see it very dimly. So I was like, it's an avionics bug, and the same down here. If you look at the pedestal, it's completely blank. That's not what it looks like when the lights are turned down. Just look at the PMDG or iFly or ZIBO. So you have to turn these up to actually see the lights. I thought it was a bug, and I was like, oh, it's not going to work streaming later, but you have to turn up the panel brightness to actually see the lights in the background. Good, so let's do the fault and fire test. So reset the master caution system. Oh, so much better than our first stream. Squibs, we've got 3 green lights. We've got fault APU detector in op, and unfortunately I can't move the mouse there. Yeah, master caution overheat detectors. That test is actually correct as per the real aircraft. Fire test. Fire warning lights are not. They should be illuminating far brighter, but we've got engine overheat lights as well, wheel well, fire warning bell. It's all correct, you know, just needs to be a little bit brighter. Rumplin' Pan, I haven't seen you for a while. Always loved your YouTube day. Already feel sorry for the plane devs. I know I'm going to be giving it a good scrutinisation there. Does co-pilot health out? No, Jim doesn't. He just stares out the window aimlessly. Maybe he'll have some... Oh! Hello, Jim. It's like he heard me talking. Oh, creepy. There we are. So, he doesn't know about Doug at all. Let's look up here. Emergency exit lights. That's freaked me out. Seatbelt signs on. We're pre-fueled. We are using SimBrief. I will continue to use SimBrief. You do have charts available with Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, but I use Jefferson at work now and I prefer them. So you can see I've got 5842 on board required, and we've got 6 tons on board. And on that flight plan here, look, I've taken an extra ton of fuel for weather, 26 minutes there. So that should be good. Jim is not in a good mood today, it seems. No, he's been forced to come flying away in Storm Bert. So there we are. That's done. Belts on. Test the intent button makes the correct sound. There is a lot of lag in the thrust lever movement as well. So if you see this, look, it's sort of, it doesn't move live. So if you move one up, I'll just twist that around slightly so you can see my thrust lever. Look at the lag and the sort of does lag around, but it does eventually set the correct thrust. At least it's all working. Trim wheels set. Don't do this, or otherwise you'll make sure you set this correctly, so otherwise it won't take off properly. But as long as it's set and in trim, it does actually fly not too badly, but it's a lot of lag and it's way too fast and aggressive. That's good. Parking brakes set. Flaps are up, which match the indicated position. Squawk 2000 for now. Pedestals all good. We'll set the nav aid in a second. Yeah, the mirrored PFD is a shame. Yeah, absolutely Skyflyer, Dan. It's a shame that it is mirrored there. Firstly, Richard, thank you, 56 months. Always expected Jim to be much more pleasant. I know he's rude, doesn't say anything, stares at you. Thank you very much for your continued support, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Andy, good to see you here as well. Only a member of 56 months. How come you always seem to be off work when we get hit by a name store? I know, seems fishy to me. Very happy to support you for 4.5 years. Thanks, Andy. I've been very fortunate whenever the name stores come. Oh, trust me, I've flown in plenty. Storm Eunice, I think I told you guys about in Discord, was it 2 or 3 years ago? I flew in that and I landed with 55 knot winds. It was horrific. Thankfully down the runway at my base, but yeah, I'm very glad to be tucked up with you guys here this evening. Perfect, that's set. No sea clean, I don't need to clean there. Bob, how do you get the game to work? It's working for me, okay. I've got a good fast internet, which I think really helps, and I think ZIBO slowly and Microsoft slowly fixed a lot of these loading issues over the weekend, because it's peak time now. What we're doing, oh yeah, it was the nav aids I was setting up. So Jersey, we're taking off from runway 26 this evening, so I'll tune the Jersey VOR, which is 112.2. 112.2. ILS will put on standby 110.3. Perfect. So they're all set. Weather radar is set as we want it for now. Overhead panel scan. So voice recorders coming on. Oops, I don't know what I did there. IRS accidentally knocked. There we are to nav. Storm warning test. It's an okay sound. That's okay as well. A bit tinny, but all good. EC on. Elevator jam. Landing assist is off. And we then check all the safety equipment as well. And all is good. Perfect. We don't have this option here where it says time to align in 1 minute. It must be some sort of cheat mode. It usually takes a lot longer than a minute to complete the alignment. Perfect. So, don't touch this tablet, and also don't touch the performance calculator. It crashes and it doesn't work anyway, so I'm just going to use SimBrief to apply Navigraph. But if you go here, back, and then to, is it Flight Planner, you've got these very good Lido charts by default, so you can add your routing in here. I found though, if you use the menu to load this in, it loads the FMC, which I don't like. It's not very realistic, so I've not loaded it using the default planner. This thing's all out of whack. But charts, this flight, you need to actually, I think you need to load in some information. So Jersey going to Glasgow, and you've got these really good Lido charts available. So departing off runway 26, SIDS runway 26, add, and then we'll select that, and then you can use this during your briefing. And these are charts which are great. I hope I'm not there, we should be there, but you can see your SID and use these if you wanted to save some money and not get a Navigraph subscription. That's absolutely fine, but I do like Navigraph because of the Jeppy charts. New driver, yeah, I've got the latest NVIDIA driver installed, which I think is important for this sim. Good. Otherwise, weather we'll get now. We'll put that to hectopascals. The QNH here, then it's absolutely atrocious weather. So runway 26 departure, surface wind 200 at 20, gusting 30, showers of rain 15 degrees. QNH is 9 and 9 and 7. So we'll set 9 and 9 and 7 now. That shouldn't be here yet. That little yellow hatch line, because you need to load the FMC first. I set the MFRA. It's radio there for some reason. There we are. So we'll just put that to 1220. Oh, it's so fiddly, this. You see the airspeed indicator jumping up and down. It shouldn't do that. It should only register above 60 or 45. You definitely wouldn't see it doing that on stand though. Also, in these winds, the whole aircraft buffets around and moves. So that's something they can add time is that. I had it once in Valencia. It was so windy we couldn't actually get the RS to align because the aircraft was shaking around so much. So that's set. Let's now load in the FMC. So I'll bring up Navigraph here so you guys can see the flight plan I'm loading. Same format with all my other streams. There we are. The trim is well off Hulk Bogan. It needs a massive fix. Oh, cool. Navigraph has released a plugin for the in-game EFB. Thanks, Mark51. In that case, I'll look into that because I have their subscription, so I might as well continue to use their charts. Do prefer them. So we are in Jersey. That's Echo Golf Juliet Juliet. And that should line select key there, but it hasn't. Going to Glasgow, which is Echo Golf Papa Foxtrot. We'll go Alpaca 01. How's liveries going to work in this? I heard or read somewhere on Facebook, one of the Microsoft Flight Sim groups, that liveries aren't available, or you have to purchase them only. But hopefully you'll be able to get your own liveries in. Runway 26, the SID will be a Scary 3 Alpha. Great to see it all updated. And let's go this in. So, you know, we're setting up here, and I'm pointing out lots of differences between the real aircraft, but the functionality of the FMC is actually pretty good for a default aircraft, and it's very similar to the real 7.3. The fonts are a bit off, but you know, there's not been anything too majorly different. I do miss the ACARS sync flight plan feature, so I'll just have to do what I do at work, which is put in the routing manually every time. Direct to Wigu after Berryhead, Wigu direct to Azcal, and then it's Avtic and Anjak. November 38 knock-in. And then after knock-in, nearly there guys, Upper Papa 16 to Rebel. Then it's going to be the arrival, which is departure. So you press this, and you have to press it again, you should go straight to this page. Arrivals, ILS-23, Rebel 1 Golf. Route, activate, execute. Just check for discontinuities, which there is one, which is normal. Execute. There we go. Looking good. People still use Facebook. I don't use my personal one, Raven, but I have an Instagram, Facebook, and X flight deck to sim, which I use. Builds have a bunch of free liveries on their app data. Yeah, now it seems a lot of the builds aircraft are working just fine. We did try the default A330 on our first day, and we had so many bugs. And someone said don't try and push back, because if you push back it sort of breaks the add-on. But yeah, I'll have to have a play at that again. Zero fuel weights in, reserves 1.8 tons. We're going to Edinburgh, cost index at 30, cruising at 39,000 feet. Look at the wind, great tailwind up to Glasgow, like 225 at 89 knots. Great. Transition altitude is not that. It is 5,000 feet. America. Performance then. M1 limit. We'll go to the default performance calculator. Now Jersey has a very, very short runway, so we will be probably having a higher flap setting here. So runway 26, weights are all in, surface wind calculate. Yeah, look at that, flap 15 for departure. Very short, gives us better performance on short field. So flap 15, try to remind me guys if I accidentally select 5, but that's full TO, so TO 92.5, takeoff flap 15, 129, 130, 141. So it's actually, look, the speeds generated are not far off. V1's slightly different, but that's probably because of wet speeds. Oh, that's maybe 10 knots the other way. But look, VR and V2 does match the tablet. We'll go with 120. CG's in. Don't do... that's really low. 3.25. Yes, make sure you set your trim properly, otherwise it won't take off properly. But that is a very low trim. We'll go with it though. 3.25 and see what happens. 3.25. Maybe that's where it's put all the way. Look, it still goes a little bit after you've set it. That will do. It's in the green band. 41, 41 set. Jersey luxury compared to Guernsey. Yeah, Guernsey is short. There we are. Overhead panel. Yaw dampers on. Nav transfer display switch is normal auto. Fuel 4 pumps. Check the cross-feed valve. Cab IFE passenger, galley powers on, window heat on, that's all set, trim air packs. It shouldn't make any changes in sounds with the APU off. 390 up here. And the elevation in Glasgow is sea level 26 feet. We'll put that to 50. That should be on steady. Ignited to right. Flight director's on, which I've now... There we are, got a command for. Runway QTM here for departure is 263. Perfect. Auto brake to RTO, deselect the system page. We've got the engine information here. EFIS, I want airport. And Jim, you can have terrain and airport. Oh yeah, isn't it some weird, you have to press the right click to set standards? Yeah, that's not working properly. That's all done. Perfect. So we'll just do a little bit of a briefing, guys, before we go. We've got the charts here. So we're going to push back, straight pushback using the default pushback planner. Well, not advanced because it's not working yet, 2024, but a straight pushback, taxi out via Alpha, full length for runway 26, and then the SID is going to be the scary 3 Alpha, which is straight ahead 3 to 5,000. So 3,000 feet commanded, right turn 332, track to Guernsey, and then 328 to Scary. So it's all coded correctly, looks good. You know, this bit so far, we'll see how it flies, it's actually not bad for a default aeroplane. It's alright, it's nowhere near as good as the other offerings, payware and high fidelity, but you know, if you're just getting into the sim and wanted to fly Max, it's so far alright. Did I start the APU? No, I didn't. Let's just get the APU up and running. And the performance in this simulator is very, very good. And everything seems to be loading in correctly today. I've got no funky looking trees. I've got nothing that's square shaped. 60 FPS capped. It's looking very, very nice. Sounds on this plane are alright. Delivery's a bit funky. I only just found out on the campaign mode in Microsoft Flight Simulator as well, you can start your own airline. So I can actually start an Alpaca Airways on my campaign, which would be good fun. Gary, thank you, 7 months. In this weather, it will be a scary takeoff, scary departure. Are you referencing the SID by any chance? Oh, I've got my soundboard up here, but I can't go any... Ooh, there we are, brilliant. Yes, Hulk, you can rotate the trim. The trim is broken, we know that already. Thanks, Gary, very good. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Phoenix already out, yeah, I heard. Oh yeah, the stop altitude, that's what I forgot to set, 5,000 feet. Right, is the AP running? Is it on the bus? I can't tell. Just give it a couple more minutes. It does get a bit stuttery sometimes. I never saw the blue light come on. Did I put the AP on the bus? Just give it another 20 seconds or so. But then we'll just do a basic shift B. Jim can be the training captain. Brilliant, Cord Addict. Ezil, do I have any pets? Do I have any pets? You must be new to the channel.
Welcome.
I have a Labrador called Jack. He's currently downstairs. If you want to see my pet, go over to my Instagram. Check out my Instagram story. We've just had a lovely weekend away at a bed and breakfast. Took Jack with us. He was loved by all the staff, the patrons at the pub. He had sausage for breakfast every day. They loved him. Pet cam Jack's downstairs with my fiance, so he's just chilling out with the dogs. Right, we're ready to go, guys. So we're going to just use Shift P today. So packs off. Yeah, we definitely have the AP on because there's duct pressure increasing. Anti-collision lights on. What is that sound? I don't know what that is. It sounds like a jet starting up. There we are, and transponder to out off. We're ready to go, and we already briefed everything. Let's see what happens. Do packs off matter for this one? Well, it should do. Probably would just be able to still start them, but let's go. Parking brakes released. Shift P. We're on our way. Now, so it's going to do a straight push back. We'll start engine. Doesn't have bow rotor motoring. It says motoring, but it does absolutely nothing. It just say, apart from saying motoring. This doesn't go red, this doesn't go amber. But we have N2, N1, and we have oil pressure. We're just missing that deep hum you get. It says motoring, but it doesn't stop, it just carries on going. So let's just end the shift P. Parking brake set. I don't know if I should wait for motoring, or is that just, it's not correctly modelled, it should be about 20% with motoring. But I think it just does that indefinitely, but we'll put the fuel on. Yeah, there we go. Small valve and engine valve did close. Oh, VATSIM's releasing vPilot for 2024. Is it going to be a brand new client, or can I still use vPilot for 2020? Otherwise I'm going to have 3 clients. It doesn't roll on idle thrust. No, I remember that from our first stream. Cool, right. Starter cutout 2573. Stabilisation criteria is good. Fuel flow is alright. 2 stable, starting 1. I haven't got any wing views saved because I can't actually get my head out of here to save them. N2. No pressure. N1. Motoring slash not motoring. Hi Josh, good evening. Hope you had a good weekend break. Looks like Jack enjoyed the pub lunch. Oh, he's been so spoiled. Yeah, we've had dinner every night at the pub. Went to it, it had a Michelin star. Food was really good. Really, really good. It's actually a present from my uncle. He's been going to this pub for years. He bought it for me and we went this weekend. Fantastic. Awesome. Well, currently have 3 times the amount of occupancy capacity of the plane. Joining you for the flight. Yes, it's a good number. Welcome aboard, guys. Good evening. Good, 2 good starts. Let's do the before taxi flow. So generators on. That blue light should now come on. APU off. Start switch is continuous. Probeat on. Anti-ice off. Air conditioning. Packs auto. Like that, the duct pressure changes randomly. That should be much higher. And set. The flaps extend at an incredibly unrealistic rate. So I'll go to flap 5. 1. 2. 5. Extended. Yeah, that's bonkers extension. Flight controls. Just make sure all my plugins are working. How do I get the click spot back for the control column? There it is. Flight controls. Forward. Back. Left. Right, rudders, right and left. That's looking good. And then recall. Get rid of the expanded display, and then you read the before taxi checklist. Okay, offline. So we'll request taxi. Yeah, there you go. There you go, guys. It is such a massive threat. This. We always use flap 5 for takeoff at my operator. So whenever you need a different flap setting, and hear me out, I've never used a different flap setting than flap 5 in 13 years. It's such a huge threat, and that's why one of our SOPs is this. You go here, and you say 15, look at the flap layer, confirm 15, and a green light, so you wouldn't skip it with 2 people. When it's me single pilot interacting with chat distractions, no checklist being around, so easy to forget things. So there we are. I was just testing you. Yeah, Don I was just testing you, and you guys spotted it. I didn't forget. I didn't forget at all. Whoa. Parking brakes off, and again the aircraft should roll forward on its own with the Leap 1B. I'll add a bit of thrust. If I go idle, it stops. So yeah, the engine thrust is not good. However, the taxiing is much improved over 2020. Much improved. And look, I'm just going to overspeed. Watch this nose wheel skid. I love that. And then it grips, look. That is... And then it grips, look. That is fantastic. That is and that's very realistic. If you start going more than 10 knots and you jam that till around, it will just understeer and you'll get a big fat skid mark. That's really cool. But again, it needs more thrust than you should in a max to get this aircraft moving. Great FPS. Right then. On our way. This is just default scenery. The default scenery, guys, I was expecting a lot more. At night, it's awful. It's not lit. The apron's pitch black. They've got a lot to learn from X-Plane regarding default airports, but I do understand there's going to be some sort of gateway in the future so people come along and improve it. Turn off APU. APU's off, sir. Takes a minute to shut down after you've turned it off. Yeah, the graphics are very nice. And it's running silky smooth on my setup. Go. We're 12 hours behind live time, but we're completely live weather with a stonking crosswind. Do you think the iFly Max for 2020 is going to be awesome? You know, no discredit to whoever made this in 2024, but yes, the iFly Max is going to be far better than this, and it'll be very good. It already is very good in 2020. Are you using frame generation? No, I'm just using Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 on high end, not ultra, just high end. Taxiway looks too clean. Yeah, it could do with a bit of grease and dirt. Right, let's do the before takeoff check. This is a config I didn't actually do. Let's do a quick takeoff config check, and I think they spool up incredibly unrealistically. It's a config, and you get this master caution bleed. Whee! It's just that's not realistic. Config check. Flaps, we have 15 green light. Stab trim is 3.25 units set, and it's pack order bleeds on. V speed set 20, 30, 41 set on the MCP. V departure, it's the scary 3 alpha. On that departure, we're going to climb straight ahead to 3,000 feet. Right turn to Guernsey. VOR stopping at 5,000 feet. NADP, we'll treat it as NADP 2, so we'll buck up at 1,000 feet. Any problems, we'll climb straight ahead 3,000. Reviewed, cabin is secure. Checks complete. Right, we'll enter the runway. Can someone grab the METAR for Guernsey so we can see what the latest wind is, which should be plugged into the sim? We'll line up. Transponder to TARA. It's a funky transponder. Perfect. So it's 200 19 gusting 30, bit of drizzle, 15 degrees, 9 and 9 are 7. Now I've set 9 and 9 are 7, but look, it's showing me below the elevation, so it's probably a slightly different QNH in the sim. Oh look, there's a church over there. So MCP set, transponder TARA, strobe lights are on, landing lights are on, cleared takeoff. Got some little cracks now on the default runways, but yeah, taxiing is much better than 2020. So much better. Although I'm having to add a bit of thrust in the turn, which you just don't need to do in a max. Now this is Jersey. Alright. So, crosswind, it's coming in from the south. So during the takeoff roll, guys, I'll need to have a little bit of aileron into wind. Okay, I'm going to have to use right rudder to maintain centerline. I had a go at this earlier and I was off the side of the runway. So I anticipate something similar, but the wind has dropped down a little bit. Wish me luck. Timing. Dogus in chat. Let's go to Glasgow. 40%. Look at the lag. Oh, it's there already. Perfect. Stabilised. Set takeoff thrust. There we are. Takeoff thrust set. Indications normal. Right rudder's coming in. Look at that crosswind. Nose wheel. Right. I've got full right rudder. 80 knots check, release forward pressure. Okay, that's good now. Forward. Oh no, that's not bad. V1. Okay, rotate. Keep on centerline with rudder. And there's the crap. No dead band, but it wasn't that bad. Positive climb. Gears up. It was. I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10, guys. Just gotta make sure you set your trim and it'll take off perfectly every time. It's not that bad. Perfect. Okay, there's 1,000 feet. Bug up. 57 knot wind already. Flipping heck. Already a V2 plus 15, so we can go straight to flat 5. There's N1 for climb thrust. Right turn. You know what? Alright. Much better than our first flight. Now, it should be lowering the nose a bit more now to accelerate. There's the flap 1 bug. Well, the 5 bug can go flat 1 bug can go flaps up. The flaps are already pretty much retracted. Flap retraction is way too fast. Bug the up speed. Flight director is commanding to pitch up to maintain the up speed. A bit aggressive. Trim is way too sensitive. Vertical speed. 1,000 feet per minute, lower the nose. Outer quiet, very good, because we're already approaching level off. 271 knots, no thanks. 250 is fine. Just want to see if the flight directors command 5,000 feet. The trim, you've got to be so careful because it's overly sensitive. Whoa! Pitch as well. Come on, turn now. Waterfall's doing the job. There does seem to be a little bit of thrust pitch couple as well, so the thrust has come off there, and I can feel the aircraft wanting to pitch down, but this is the laziest turn I've seen it do in LNAV. It's very sensitive in pitch. I mean, it's not great. Look, I just trimmed those down, and it's like... Right. Oh, this turn is the laziest turn. The trim is just out the blocks. Right, we're maintaining 5,000 feet. Command. Oh my goodness me. Yeah, it was great crap on takeoff. You know what? The crosswind was actually alright. I had to use full right rudder at one point, but it wasn't... You'd have more rudder authority in those sort of winds. God, 77 knot winds up here. That's what it's like in these stormy days, though. You can anticipate winds like that. Right, after takeoff checklist. Gears off, water brake off. Start switches off. Air conditioning and pressurisation. Diff's way too low. That's showing us depressurised and a cabin altitude. We're not currently pressurised, guys. Diff is 0, 4,000 feet. That shows we're depressurised. So that would be an issue. But it is in auto, and the outflow valve should be closed. Oh, I remember we had the dodgy outflow valve. Yes, I remember. Set. Right, let's see what happens when we climb. Altimeter's 5,000 feet. Check's complete. Let's climb flight level 80. I'm just going to disconnect and we're going to hand fly this. That's the view outside. Right. And that sound. Get rid of that sound. So let's go VNAV. VNAV out. Yes, we've got restriction in the FMC probably. N1 VNAV speed. Good. So I'm not going to do anything. And I just want to see what the aircraft does as the thrust comes up. So you see we're adding thrust. The aircraft should now start pitching up. It's actually adding thrust more realistically than the iFly does. It nice and smoothly. This is good. And see how the aircraft's climbing. This is called the thrust pitch couple, guys. So because the engines are below the CG, with no pitch input whatsoever, the aircraft started climbing. This is actually very good. And you see how, look, no input at all. There's my hands. And look how it's just climbing up and up and up. That's actually very, very realistic with the thrust pitch couple. So I'll take control again. Follow the flight directors. Set standard. Oh, how do you set standard again? Is it right click? There we are. Vertical speed. So the thrust pitch couple and the fact that with the thrust with the underslung engines is affecting pitch is good to see. But the trim is just so bad. I'm just going to show you guys. Look, we'll level off at 80 and I'll show you what happens when we apply the trim. But the visuals outside, phenomenal. So leveling off at flight level 80 and we'll play with this trim. But there's no issues for takeoff. I don't know what happened with 330 driver. You just set the trim wrong. It's fine. Right. There we are. So there's 80. So I just want to show you how wacky this trim is. So I'm doing my best. I think we're in trim now. I need a bit of nose down. Right. So see my hands? I don't need nose down, but it's so hard to set. I'm trying my best here to trim it. The auto throttle's a little bit too aggressive for small changes. And obviously every time the thrust, I'm just getting the auto throttle. Alright. It's pretty much level now, okay? Look, hands off. Watch what happens when I add nose trim and no pitch input. Straight to stick shaker. I mean, it's and I've actually lost. I've got no pitch authority. That's full nose down. Full nose down. The trim is completely broken. I had so much nose trim there. I couldn't actually. I had full nose down. I lost all pitch authority. Yeah, the trim is good. That's actually quite good. The PLI's appeared, and my attitude just exceeded the critical angle attack briefly. Right, yeah. So that is the trim is bad, very very bad. Right, VNav command day. VNav out FMC speed. This is power shouted to them. There we are. Let's climb to flight level 170 and continue on route. What on earth are we seeing here? Christ. Very laggy ND. Crikey. That is the worst depiction of weather I've seen. It's a shame they haven't updated that. I almost want to turn it off. There we go. Looking good. Quite like that livery. There we are, passing 105, 170, pre-cruise checks, fuel 4 pumps, and balance lights off. Yes, Jim, I'm looking at your nostrils. APUs off, pressurization. Ah, we're finally pressurizing. Diffs 1.2, cabin altitude 7,000 feet. Interesting. Set, release the crew, belts off. And we've got 2 bleed lights. Why? Two bleed tripods. Did this. I think every time. I'll just show you. If I reduce thrust, bleed lights extinguish, add thrust, and bleed lights illuminates. So it's fine. It's just a bug. Auto throttle on. Pre-cruise checks complete. Yeah, that master caution is on for the bleed, which comes up every time you have climb thrust set, even though the bleeds are pressurising the aircraft. Very nice. Its lateral navigation is very good. You can see it's crabbing nicely into the wind. Looking at the ND, what's our actual heading right now? What's our heading? See if you have any knowledgeable 737 pilots here who are familiar with track-up display. What's our present heading? .315-ish, very good. 314, 315. Not this. This is the track. Okay, track up display. So 327 is where we're going. This is where the aircraft's pointing. Okay. Welcome. Look at this huge 80-knot crosswind here, guys, pushing us in this direction. So you might be able to see it if you look like this. We're tracking this way. Huge wind, and you can sort of see it on Navigraph. You can see where the aircraft's pointing a little bit this way. So if I move this to heading up display, that gives you an idea of what's going on. Look, we're actually going in this direction. We're facing that way, but we're going in that way, in that direction. It's huge, huge. It's weird how it changes that. Huge crosswind there. Can you see the APU EGT on the Max? You can't hold because this is exactly how it's displayed in real life. One to go. Let's have a look at the automation actually. Vertical speed. Why is it going dual? So I have to say, when you select VS, the pitch commands are actually quite good, and the autopilot behaves quite well. Hello, hello. What have you got? Have you got your cow? Come here. Where's your toy? Where's your toy? Come here. Who is it? Look, he's bought me a present. Oh, he's going. He's going. Are you going to say hello to the lovely people? There you go. There you go. What you got? Oh! Oh, bye-bye then. Oh, I've got Master Cautions coming up. Jack, come here. What's this? Where is it? What you got? He's gone. He was showing off. He was showing off. You always hear his pitter-patter. Dog! Yes. Infamous Jack. There you go, look, the aircraft's maintaining flight level 170 very nicely with the appropriate FMAs. Sorry about my legs indeed. Actually, what happened to Yoko? I need to adjust that slightly. Let's point it up. I'm trying to show you my forehead. There we are. Yes, on your bed then. Come on. Good boy. Yeah, the automation looks good. Let's go up to 390. So, you know, what do I give this aircraft? 6 out of 10. All right, and when I say 6 out of 10, I mean that's like 10 being a level D simulator. Okay, if you're new to if you're new to flight simulation, you want to fly a Max, it's fine. It's buggy, but you know, it's usable. Am I going to use it again? Probably not. But you know, even in the average, it's fine. It functions well. We'll do some fuel checks. But I was probably on day one. Don't forget, guys, when I streamed it on day one, I'd only just fired up the sim and spent about an hour doing some key bindings. So the sim wasn't properly set up. Now I've got it all set up how I like it. It's sort of, I've got the sim working around what I want it to do. I'm enjoying the aircraft, and there's some really good default aircraft to enjoy here. So we were critical of the sim. I've had no issues today launching the sim when I got back from my weekend break. Straight in. Let's see. You know, yeah, iFly. You know, I think the time probably to jump from one is a bit early to jump from 2020. I mean, I'm obviously concentrating content on this sim because it's only just come out and people are interested, but I don't want people thinking I'm deserting other simulators. 2020 is still going to be used, as we'll explain. In fact, I want to try the Flight Factor 777 again, and there's this great freeware Fokker Fellowship that's come out in 2020 which I want to try, but I'm also really excited to do some more career mode streams. It was such a laugh the other day. Oh, it was Big Jet TV at Heathrow today, yeah. Storm Bert's caused a bit of chaos. We're flying in it right now. In fact, Glasgow, the wind isn't as down the runway. But that takeoff, it was alright. It was alright, you know, within the confines of a desktop simulator. You know, it wasn't bad. Right, so I've got engine anti-ice on. You should have TAI indications here, just like on the NG and the Real Max, but there's none. So you have no clue that the engine anti-ice is on. I've still got these two bleed lights with the funky pressurization diff changing all the time. Yeah, it needs tweaking. Can't wait for another flawless parachute run. Hey, my parachute runs were good the other day. Scott, did you know that our Beyond Agency recognised the alpaca call sign? I had no idea. No idea. Wow, look at that. Definitely improved, doesn't it? That looks a bit nasty, that weather. Beautiful. Single engine flap 15 landing. Yeah, maybe another day. Christoph, good question. Who is the game made for? For kids on Xbox or for pilots bored of work? Because it's definitely not for people stepping into the world of aviation. No, ultimately, Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 is for Xbox, isn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's the core user base. Campaign mode, giving people a reason to fly it on the sim. Can you still use it with high fidelity add-ons? Absolutely, as a platform. But where's Microsoft going with 2024? It's turning it, yeah, it's to make it to a game. You know, can't beat by the bush on that. It's the way it is. Thankfully, we've got good third-party developers who create very realistic add-ons to utilise this. But yeah, this is actually climbing very well. Performance is good. That's what I just done, but this is actually looking alright. Climbing at 1800 feet per minute. I think the amount of thrust the engine's producing in flight is pretty good. On the ground, it's not quite right, but it's looking alright. Front desk, I think it's amusing how many people look at a toy flight sim for €80 and judge it as it's a real flight simulator. Yeah, they're good guys. You never. I don't want people get false pretenses that this is exactly as it is. It's not. Of course it isn't. There's no desktop simulator that does. No, there's X-Plane. The sensation of flight, the inputs required to fly the actual aeroplanes are so different, and it requires training, starting on GA, building up to CPL, MEIR, thousands of hours. But they are very good at replicating what we do on a home PC. But yeah, Longcat, who's also a 737 pilot and a member and should follow my channel. So anyway, all desktop flight sims are essentially games. X-Plane is a game. It's a video game. You download it on Steam. But they are very good as simulators. And what does a simulator game do? It replicates something in real life. It doesn't matter if it's a construction simulator, farm simulator, The Sims, within doubt, within reason. But yeah, it's they're good. They're very good at replicating. Even this default one isn't bad. You know, I'm sat here doing things as I do at work, and I can replicate what I do at work in this thing. Yeah, front desk, perfectly put. Oh yes, the flap positions are a bit weird. Going on in there. Here comes the wind. The live weather, by the way, the way live weather is generated in the sim looks quite good as well. That looks amazing. Just turn the sim down slightly, guys. What? Not sure about that. That's very good though. That works, yeah, the MCP is definitely strange. Yes, it's unusual. Turn up my panel lighting actually. Yeah, it's not realistic at all. But this climb rate's very good for the max. There's our routing. We should have airports on really. There we are. Exeter, Echo Golf Tango Echo, I believe. Let's have a look as we progress. Yeah, I need to get these JEPI charts on here. So we're flying Exeter, so we have Berryhead, Thames, Bristol Channel, right over Cardiff and Wales. This should look very pretty over here. Knock in between Manchester and Liverpool. Ribble into Scotland, Carlisle, and onwards to Glasgow. We should be landing at time 10:18, so about 50 minutes from now. Casio calculator MCP, brilliant. You guys will like this then. Hold on, let me just get my flight back. Actually, no. What else am I doing over there? Check this out. My work calculator. Who recognises this? Who did a GCSE in the UK? This is my... Got this in year 10 and year 7. When I was 10, 11 years old. Still going strong. Works out fuel checks and fuel density every single day. Domino Ocena, thank you very much, buddy. 55 months of collecting birds from you. How's the performance of 24 compared to 20 on your PC? Thank you very much. Better. I'm getting much better performance in 2024 in comparison to 2020. Why that is, I don't know. I've read reports that it's better optimized for NVIDIA graphics cards. But yeah, this is, you know, as I move around, I'll stutter here and there. But how does it look for you guys watching? And obviously you lose a bit of the quality and latency, but I'm streaming in 2K. It's looking good. Beautiful. Got my drone camera set up with all the pre-save views as well. They don't have a cabin one. That's cool use on top of the horizontal stabilizer. Anyway, sort of engine inlet view. Obviously horrible weather today, so we can't really see the scenery below. Craig, last time I used that calculator was the last question, higher maths, a vector question, I think. Well, that's beyond my knowledge. Okay, hello. Oh, sorry, no, Lauren. Oh, we QR code airlines today. Just forgot to load into the tail. Yes, well, I chose the default Boeing livery and it came in with this one. But put it this way, this aircraft is better than the default aircraft when 2020 was launched, and this is one of the poorer default aircraft. I've not tested this today. I've just flown and jumped into the sim and streamed it. It's got massive problems and issues, but it's a good effort by the devs to put a default max in. It works. It's workable. Is it realistic? Far from it. When we reach top of climb, look, we'll do a fuel check at Ascar. We took an extra ton, so we should be about a ton off. Oh, it's Ethan Bleeker. This tablet for weight and balance is completely broken. Don't use it because I used it before this stream and it crashed my whole. Had to crash the desktop, so don't bother using it at the moment for weight and balance and fuel. I did it in the menu, which still uses the tablet, but I don't dare touch it in flight. Climbing up well, 25 minutes. David says, good evening Captain, I have a question. I'll check this on the yoke realistic. Let's have a look. Every airline will have slightly different checklists. Yeah, some airlines use flaps stab trim, bleeds on, packs auto. Not too dissimilar to ours. Yeah, that's fine. Just as a quick check in flight, it's okay. We have a slightly longer one, but it's usable. Welcome. Thanks for subscribing, Fallen Guardian. Welcome aboard. Chris, what's the route tonight? All the information's in the video description. We're currently flying from Jersey to Glasgow. We're landing in Glasgow in about 45 minutes. There we are. Just about to cross the Bristol Channel. Right over the top of Cardiff, by the looks of it. Which we cannot see outside. But yeah, this looks great. Jaden, do you think Microsoft Flight Sim will expand use of switches? Feels like half the plane's features are null. You won't see massive improvements in the default aircraft. I know some have been made by Any Builds and some other dedicated developers. They might see better updates, but things like this, the functionality you have here, they'll improve some things, but yeah, you won't get circuit breaker switches with any of these default aircraft. Thanks for subscribing there, Shaki Aziz. Thank you. Sim and Climb Flight Sim, did you see the 330 driver video where he took out the default Max 8? Put it this way, he wasn't all impressed with it. No, it needs improvement. I think he milked the whole MCAS thing a bit in the Max, but it's flyable. You just got to make sure you set the trim and avoid trimming in flight. It's workable. It's not good, as I said so far. I've given it a 6 out of 10, but it's usable. But it's flyable. You can fly the aeroplane. Just your trim, just got to make sure you set it appropriately for takeoff. If you don't set your trim correctly for takeoff on any aeroplane, you'll crash. So just got to make sure you set it up as realistically as you can. But the takeoff there, the behaviour of the rudder, I had to have rudder to maintain centre line, aileron into wind to keep the wings level, but I'm afraid to say that I can't feel any difference between this and 2020. There is the takeoff and the rudder seems a little less Yankee, it's a bit more natural, but I didn't have to have a huge amount of aileron into wind to keep the wings level, but the rudder input was appropriate to maintain centre line. Flying Walnut, Sasha, thank you very much for the gifted membership. I hope you're doing very well, madam, and I hope you had a good shift at work if you were there today. Nice chatting with you in Discord. And Lucas, you've been here for a while. In fact, you might have been a member before, to Lucas 2010, 2004. I hope you're doing well. And you've been invited to our members only Discord from Sasha. Thank you very much. Lucas, welcome back. Yes. But yeah, climb performance is pretty good. Yeah, I've got to try these default indie builds aircraft. The 330 I had lots of problems with on our first day streaming. I couldn't get it to move, and someone said in the comment section, there's a bug where if you try and use a pushback, it freezes the parking brake, which is what happened to us. But in flight, the engine sounds are very interesting and all sorts going on. Want to go? Yeah, so like the sounds they're using here, like default sounds from the default Microsoft Autopilot.
Minimums, approaching minimums.
Awesome. Tom Hayes Cat, thank you. 22 months, remember, 22 months already? Absolutely. Thank you very much. That's gone by fast, hasn't it? Nearly two years. Thank you very much for your continued support. There we are, just approaching 390, so we'll get ready for our fuel check. Let's get the flight plan. So we're approaching Ascal. Just want to see how far off it is. But it navigates laterally very well. 227 at 83. So let's just check the winds and live weather. So Avtic, we should have 227 at 80. We've got 229 at 96. So it's about 20 knots stronger. Usually these are a lot closer. We should have 3860 on board. We have 4460. So we've saved 600 kilos. I don't think the fuel flow is going to be as realistic. This says we burn it's 1.4 tons as cow, 1.9. Yeah, the fuel burn is well off. This is saving way too much fuel. We'll see the fuel flow actually when it's stabilised. This is interesting. Let's see what happens when it stabilises. But yeah, we've saved a significant amount of fuel in the climb. Navigraph external software, yes, but I will try this Navigraph update so I can use their charts in the sim. That would be quite useful. Perfect. Why is M1 so twitchy? It's a default add-on, a default aircraft. Fuel flow's sort of stabilised where it should be, so I guess in the climb it's a little bit off. Look at you flew the 321 yesterday. It's pretty excellent as far as I can tell. Had no idea what I was doing. It's like me flying the MS as well. You can hear the trim, but that we've already demonstrated. The trim today is well off. Ragbird says, what is the reason behind turning the igniters to right? Does it make any difference which side you put it? Yes, it does. So the left igniter is connected, sorry, the right igniter is connected to the AC standby bus. So if you lose all AC power, you're on the battery, the right igniter is always powered because the AC standby bus uses the battery to power anything on the AC standby bus. The left igniter is powered by the AC transfer bus 1. Now to dispatch, we must have one source of AC transfer. We must have one source of AC power available on the AC standby bus to the igniters. I'm going too technical. So the engineers can switch that over, so they can put the left igniter on the AC standby bus instead of the right igniter. So leave it on the right if they have a problem with the ignition system. We know that we need to get the AC standby bus on the left. Yeah, that's essentially how it works. It's how the ignition system's powered. You can then check. Right is AC standby bus, and left is AC transfer bus. AC transfer bus, anything powered by that is lost when you lose AC power in flight, which is incredibly unlikely. Yeah, how is the autopilot behaving? Where's that control column? Yeah, the thrust is never going to stabilise, is it, on this default aircraft, so obviously it's not how it reacts. You can sort of see it pitching up and down. We are north of Cardiff now. Where's top of descent? Not far, just over 80 miles. Nice little test sector for today. Incredibly unlikely, but not impossible, absolutely. But you've got 3 sources of AC power in flight, 2 engines and an APU. You can dispatch with no APU and no IDG, as long as you have 2. And in flight, when you're down to 1 source of AC power, lost the other 2, you have to land as soon as possible. So the chance of in flight of you actually losing all sources of AC power is incredibly unlikely, but not impossible. Same way it's not impossible for a meteor to land on my head. Incredibly unlikely. Probably not going to happen. Yeah, K217 has made a good point. Wind gusts are sometimes instant. I've noticed that in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and when there's gusts, it's not a gradual change, it's instant, and the HESP indicator changes instantly as well, which makes it very difficult to maintain speed. Hello Eden P3D, any ambitions to move over to long haul in the future on any other aircraft type? No, very happy operating the NG Max as Tier E, Tier I, LTC, training captain, and I shall do that. I think and endeavour for the rest of my career because of the stability it gives me at home. I love flying. Very fortunate, very privileged to do what I love as a job. I always say I've not worked a day in 13 years. And then on my days off I get to come and hang out with you guys and stream and continue my love of flight simulation, which I essentially was my routes towards my career. Don't forget, I was doing what a lot of you here in chat was doing when I was sort of 10, 11, 12, 13, all through my early teenage years. It was what drove me to move forward, and now I've sort of turned back to my roots. So yeah. My job and my roster and my operator based at home gives me great flexibility. Awesome. Jason, you got Logitech G Pro setup. Is very good for small planes and translates well to stick operating aircraft. Yeah, I mean the Airbus side stick is actually all right. I used that for the last 2 streams. It's fine. You know. Saving a good amount of fuel here. The fuel burn is well off. About to go overhead Liverpool and Manchester. It's completely overcast. Very good. Yep, got some standbys this week, so endeavour to stream on some of them. RT Pepper just joined. How's the plane feeling? Yeah, it's a default aircraft. It's got its massive flaws, but if you're new to simming and you want to fly a max, it's okay. I'd highly recommend the high fidelity ones if you want to take it super realistically. Oh, what's that? A little bit of a pressure bump. But one thing I want to comment on is the autopilot behaviour is actually not too bad. It's not perfect, but the way it reacts is pretty good. Flying Warner, did you see the Vast Aviation YouTube video? All frequencies falling in the New York airspace. Is there SOP for total loss of AC comms? Oh wow, I didn't see that. No, there's standard ICAO practices for loss of comms. Oh, I can see Jim's shadow there. It's scary. Again, I think it does a thing where it looks at you if you look at him for a long time. Yes, ICAO standard rules. 7 minutes. Maintain heading course, follow flight plan, enter hold, descend, make blind calls. Wow, I didn't know that happened in Newark. Do we dare let it auto land? Well, I think it's the wind's out of limits for an auto land today, Longcat and Glasgow. We'll try hand fly it. K217, I helped build this Max, avionics wise. It does bank in turns a little too quick, but I think the very slow pitch changes are quite close. Welcome on board K2017 if you actually help build this Max. And as I've said to people here, you know, these default aircraft, you're never going to match the quality of someone that's spent years, a dedicated team of making this aircraft. But in pitch, it's not bad. And I think in roll, it was a bit lazy on the first turn. But the autopilot behaviour is not too bad. There's plenty of other things that need tweaking. Oh yes, don't forget to score 7600 for loss of comms to identify to ATC that you are unable to contact anyone. Code is the sim garbage. It's improved. It's improved. Certainly since launch, it had its problems, but had it been like this on day one, it would have had much more favourable reception. Is anyone still having issues accessing it? I've actually had no problems getting onto it. It was only on launch day, but when I streamed it for the first day, the day after launch day, it was slow loading, but we could play it. Hello Omar, currently ATPL student, love watching, keeps me getting through ground school. Excellent, good luck with all your studies Omar, work hard. A-Train, how does the Max compare to the NG in terms of flight characteristics when hand flying? Pretty much identical, it's been designed that way. It has a fly-by-wire speed brake system as well to assist with attitudes on final approach and during the flare, which is all automated. But yeah, flies just like the NG as it was designed to. Arson, do you think will be enough room for new pilots 327 in the UK? Should finish all my licenses by 2030. 6 years. It's a steady progress, Arson, but best of luck with it all. Who knows? In the industry, it's very cyclical, but I think there's enough demand right now. Certainly the last 2 years ago, 1 year ago, there's huge demand, especially in the US. Yeah, all it takes is another pandemic or another volcanic eruption or anything like that would affect aviation industry. So no one can tell really. Right, we're best setting up. That shouldn't go actually. We're still quite far away. So let's just. I'm a bit hesitant to use this because I have had 3 crash to desktops from using this tablet. The charts are okay, so how do I... So these are all Jersey charts. I'm going to change this to Glasgow. So how do I zoom out? Don't touch that. This is the one. Don't touch anything here. Okay. Glasgow. Oh, wind's died down, 180 at 13. Well, so much for that. Oh, this is quite cool. Frequencies. Set. Do I dare use the default ATC to get me in? I think not. We'll do it the old... We're going to use Navigraph charts. Right, so this should default to 240 below 100. It's blank. This should be expected transition level at the airports. By ATC, I'm going to change it to around 80. What? That worked. Winds, I don't know if this will have any difference on the approach, but we'll put in the forecast winds. So I can put 4 winds in here. On ours we can only put 3. 224, 140. Whoa! That is super strong winds. In fact, it's probably been better to be at a lower cruise level today. 200, 218 at 99. 100 is 224, 56. Okie dokie. Fix rings in. Let's see. I don't think this worked the other day, did it? No, you can't put fix rings in. Great. No. Frequencies then for the ILS. One 101, 228. These are all correct. So set the course. 228. 101. Hey. 1 1. Oh, that's not good. You have to clear it to put the frequency in. That'll do. Glasgow VOR 15.4. Oh, so it lets you put that in. Perfect. ILS minima 221. Just do my best to set this here. Oh, it's oscillating. The climbing a little bit in the turn should do that. Cool. What is going on there on the NT? There's something funky going there with... What? What are these blue circles? That's not right. That's the missed approach. Reset MCP out. Just have a quick look at the arrival. Just approaching Rebel. ASLIP 260, and that is coded. So let's set 260 on the MCP. Should be a much better backlighting there. So that's set. Now VNAV should automatically descend and get to 260 at ISLIB. So let's see how it performs today. Yeah, frequencies courses minimums are set. That's the bare bones minimum for the approach. We've checked the start, which is basically a straight in line. And let's see how it complies with all these restrictions and speed restrictions as well. Onto the ILS 228 MSA 49 to the north. This is a bit of a test to see how it flies in. Go arounds. The iFly 737 Max doesn't quite do go arounds accurately. Goodness knows what this would be like. But we'll do our best to respect the stabilised approach criteria today. Swimming climb, what's your internet speed? Am I right? Is it 1000 meg? 1000 megabytes a second. Top of the range. Joanne, it's typical of ZIBO tracking lines because your current speed is drawn lines on that. Brilliant. No, Martin, you can't set the backlighting any brighter. It's what the main panel DU lights for, but it doesn't impact the brightness at all. So there we are, started its descent in VNAV path. Saying drag required even though it's on target speed. So right now it's maintaining Mach decimal 774 on transition 271 knots. This VNAV is actually not too bad. Please can you get rid of this green trend vector though? I don't know what this magenta line is also on here. Get rid of that, and then that would actually look realistic. 1 gigabyte a second, thanks, yeah, that. Why, yeah, megabytes, gigabytes. 1,000, a pair for 1,000. It's quick. Where's my speed test? I'll show you my internet. Right, that's my internet around, but I guess it's because I'm streaming. I'm trying to hide everything there. Oh, I need to turn yoke cam on. Download 400 on 400 something. That. My upload should be next. Upload is 76, 77. Usually when I'm not streaming stuff, it's 950 and 100 up. 421 download, 86.7 upload. Megabits, yes. Is coming on. Hi, Jim. Yeah, they need to brighten. Oh, it's actually. Ah, that's on dim. There we are, that should be a bit better. So, what's it descending at right now? 2,400. You know what? It ain't half bad, this VNAV path in descent. It ain't half bad. It's nailed the path. 260 ASLib. It's going to be on speed, and it's pretty much on speed. This is very difficult to model. This is actually very good. Speed's backed off a little bit, but it doesn't matter. It's following path. It doesn't care about speed. This should be retard arm unless it's got FMC speed to add thrust again. But when it's back on speed, it should go retard arm again. Thrust. The thrust is very high, and now the racer's got a little shallower. I spoke too soon. Has a bus when landing with unarmed speed brakes, will they deploy when reverse thrust is selected? On RTO, yes. On landing, I believe so as well. On RTO, definitely yes, but we always manually select speed brake reverse before reverses because it's far more effective at stopping an aircraft. Puts weight on the wheels, makes the brakes more effective. Yeah, there you go. So speed, it's gone retard arm again. This is actually quite okay VNAV. Idle thrust, in path, peg the speed, not bad. And this is difficult to model. It isn't as bad as I was expecting it to be today. Far better than on my test sector. And no one's come up to me and said, could you please say the Asobo 737 MAX is good. I'm free reign here to say what I want. So I always am, and this isn't actually bad at all. There's the Scottish Highlands. Actually, no, a bit below there. But I'm not sure about this contrail with this ultra thin, looks like a fuel leak coming out. This looks good. Guys, how does this replay tool work, by the way? I've not used this before. Should I start recording it at one final? Yes, interesting whizzed approach though. But yeah, this is actually really good. But devs, get rid of this green arrow and this random magenta Airbus style speed window thing. It doesn't exist. Just click instant replay and it will start recording. Okay, we'll try it today. Is it good? Yeah, 787 thing. Yeah, it's not on the NG or Max. Not on ours. It could be that it's fitted to some, but certainly not ours. But this VNAV isn't bad. Really. ASLIP 260 Nexus Odigi flight level 200. It's not perfect. There should be more indications on the ND, but it's doing its thing. Acid test goes, do a barrel roll!
Do a barrel roll!
Martin, Echo Golf Papa Kilo on screen, my house, Presswick. Very good. Air shear. So it's levelling off at 260 to be level at ASLib, adding thrust, FMC speed. Let's push out into vent to keep descending. So it's deleted that restriction, and now, yeah, it's gone to V. Oh, has it got common VNav? I'm just doing a test here, guys. VS. Just going to get myself a bit high on purpose. 1,000 feet per minute. So how common VNav works, which it should then pitch for speed when we get a bit high. Should do it. VNav speed. That's common VNav. Guys, I'm going to say something here which is controversial. The VNav is behaving better than the iFly Maxes at the moment. The VNav is behaving better, or more realistically, than the iFly 737 Maxes. I'm just going to do a test here and go and accelerate. So this should go back to path when we're back on path. If it does, it has a more modern avionics system. No, that should go to path now. So on path it should revert to path. Unless it's got a hybrid sort of... Oh, it has! Wow. Wow. It has common VNav, and it's working pretty well. Wow. So that has really taken me back. Now, is the iFly 737 Max better? By a whole country mile. But the VNav on this is working very well. It's doing an exceptional job. I think it might be a slightly shallower rate of descent and adding a bit of thrust unnecessarily, but it isn't too bad at all. We're going to use it all the way down, guys, and just see how it performs with decel points and whatnot. It's actually... I thought today would be a fight, and there is so much that's wrong with this. The stabiliser, hand flying is a bit twitchy, but the automation and the autopilot system on this is actually pretty good. So much so, I might increase my final scores to 7 out of 10. Seriously. This VNav's very good, although it's now got a slightly shallower rate of descent, but a lot of thrust. But the VNav logic there was with common VNav, with the correct FMAs, correct aircraft pitch response as well. The magenta line looks a bit thick. Yeah, they need to change all the fonts. This looks good. The engine instruments are really good, but this is slightly off. This is off. This has got the classic fuel totalizer gauge, which I don't think comes with the Max. The text on the MCP is funky. This 787 PFD thing. Wow. David, what do you answer to someone that asks you what speed does an aircraft fly? There's so many. Indicated, true. Ground. So indicated is the main primary reference. And that's what sort of the aircraft is you're referencing as you fly. Ground speed for navigation, true, is very rarely used. It's more for you can work out your density, altitude in other ways, and the higher true airspeed, the higher the compressibility, but not really referenced in navigational flying. There are bang on flight level 200 at O'Giddy. VNav out we don't have. We're now going to step descent to... Let's have a look at the chart. It's actually alright. Flight level 70 at Lanark. So, oh, I spoke too soon. 6,000 feet, really? Or has that just left me grossly high? 612.18? No, that's wrong. I spoke too soon. I'm just going to go level change anyway. What's happened to VNav path? We're not that high. We're about 2,000... No, not even that. 612.18. We're about probably 1,500, 2,000 feet high. What happened after we passed O'Diggy? That's completely gone bonkers. Just going to do an update again, so just going to recalculate. That shouldn't be green, that should be white. Oh, now it's just changed into like 2,000 feet. Walter Duke of the Dorman, welcome, big fan, thank you. VNav was doing a really good job, but the path update, the calculation's gone skew with 58 miles, 612, which is about 18. We're on profile, guys. This is completely lost the ball. And why is it turning left on its own away from Vappy? And even the deviation here is increasing, 0.2 off the magenta line. Now it's correcting. Don't know what's happened to path. The scenery is definitely working. It's definitely improved the way it's loading into the sim. Oh my god, they are generating a significant amount of electricity today. Wow. Yeah, well, we're going to have to ignore VNav now. Wind is changing, yes, it's sort of dealing with it a bit lethargically, but it's still a heck of a wind here. But what's happened to path? It was doing such a good job. 50 miles, 15,000. We're a smidge high, but not 4,000 feet. We'll stay in level change for now. Oh, there's that funky stabilizer. You be careful. Great performance. .21 gigawatts. Well, let's see what happens when we get a bit closer. We'll step down now. We've got max 250 knots to comply with at Vappy. So let's bring the speed back to 250. Level change. So the aircraft should now pitch up. MCP speed is the pitch FMA. And it should still do a shallow descent. I have to say the autopilot is very good. It's making the appropriate changes in your pitch in level change here. And we'll set flight level 70 to be level at Lanark. Better see how effective the speed brake is actually when it stabilises at 250 knots. So in level change 250 knots, the max should give you around 1600 feet per minute. Which, oh crikey, it's struggling with these winds to navigate. So yeah, this is a good rate of descent for the max at 250. Let's use a bit of speed brake. It's not working. Slash working? No, I'm gonna have to do it manually, aren't I? Not bad. Basically it does nothing. Which is oh. Well, the speed brake has extended, but has not extended. What? What is going on? Why have I got no spoilers? Deflecting and dumping lift. Buggy, I fear. Okay, I have no speed brake. So I didn't see any notice change here. Interesting. So yeah, the fuel burn is off. The speed brake doesn't work. The VNav is now broken. We'll go back to 6 out of 10. Speed brake is armed. Okay, that's something. Stefan, yes, I've heard the Phoenix is now compatible with 2024. Great news. Wait, I need. Every time I turn my head, there seems to be like some more extra turn. Let's turn that off. Brakes are a future DLC. It is bounce and axis. Yes. Oh. It's still not working. It's not. They're not extending. Even if I do it manually, look, extend, but the wing's completely clean, so they're not working. Anyway, we're not going to use this dodgy VNav anyway. We're way too high at this restriction at Lanark 7. This path is slowly coming back. We should be around 369. We're about 2,000 feet high. So I might get, because the speed rate's not working, I have to give myself some delayed vectors. So we'll go heading select. And we're just going to go on a heading at north. Post cruise checks, fuel, 4 pumps, lights. AP's off, pressurisation. 1. We're much higher cabin altitude than it should be. And set, belts on, recall. And we've still got this bleed, have we? Why? Oh no, it's nothing illuminated, checks complete. Chassis ice off. Okay, so we're going to have a go, so give us some... Oh look, VNAV's back working now. We're back on path magically. I told you we were not too far off. We'll go on this vector anyway for a short while. So that's showing bang on path, but not. It's really not changing on in level change here. That's weird. I think this is broken. And the missed approach has gone a little bit tidier, but still. Right, turn the music off. Jonah, why don't you communicate with ATSIM? We're not on VATSIM today, Jonah Games, we're offline. Gary, does Toby Eye Tracker work 2024? It does, but I've not set it up yet. JPS, laddie's going to be funny, he says. Yes, what's the current wind at Glasgow? Use the other speed brake, okay, the wheels. Yes, that would work. Also, I've got a thing that's really triggering me. Oh my goodness me, the brightness. That's better, actually. Who wrote this? 1, 2, 5, 40, 15, 25, 30, 10. No! All you have to do is take a picture. Copy it. It's not how it looks. 225. Okay, landing on T3. Good of a headwind, bit of a wind. But it ain't too bad. We'll preset the QNH 9 to 75. It won't let me preset the QNH 975. That's a bug. You should be able to set anything you like here. Oh well. We'll descend now to platform altitude, which is 3,000 feet. So 3,000 feet. Set. We'll try to deselect standard. No, it's not working, guys. How do I deselect standard again? Left click, right click, middle click. I can't. I'm stuck on standard, and it won't change. You can't preset anything but 1013 or 1014. How do I... B? No, B's not modelled anymore. How do I not set a standard? Mouse wheel click? No. Left click? No. It's broken. I can't set QNH. Click and drag. Oh, this is infuriating. Slowing down to the up speed, guys. Left and right. I've tried everything. Left click, right click. Gyms. I'm stuck on standard. I can't set the QNH. B doesn't work. Level change is... I love level change on this, by the way. It's working. That's working very well. Guys, we're going to have to leave it with standard set. Right click, try FO side. Nope. Yeah, it's... I'm stuck. Give myself an intercept heading. Stupid thing. Yes, Jim, thanks for your help. Oh yeah, very good. Heading banked at 10 because the bank angle select was still on 10. That's very realistic. The path's completely broken. VNav is showing me on path perfectly, regardless of whatever rate of descent type sets. It's broken. We're low on path here by probably about 500 feet. Yeah, I can't do anything. I can't unset standards. Now the button's working. Yeah, no, oh, the whole for EFIS is broken. I can't... Okay, I can select EFIS modes, but I can't select any of these middle positions. Shh. Give ourselves an intercept heading arm forelock. Save so much fuel. Fuel burn is well off. It's Way too conservative. Yeah, I can't. I'm gonna have people comment, oh, you're not a real pilot because you didn't set Q&H. Try comma or period. Oh! Comma! Comma did it! Thank you! Right, I'll make a note of that. So comma is the B button. What? I will change it to B. Magic B, remember? In Microsoft Flight Simulator. Localizer live, localizer capture. VNav is broken. It was working really well on descent, and on approach it's just got completely balked. Glide slope alive, checked. Runway heading 228 sets. Yeah, localize. I have to praise the autopilot on this. Apart from VNav guidance is flashing. No, I don't want flashing. Oh. The VNav was working well. Now it's completely broken. Oh, we're going to try this recorder, aren't we? So if I press... Hey? Oh! Ah! What's happened? Guys. I've lost my recorder. How do I actually select it on? I can minimise it and expand it, but it won't expand. Right, I think we're going to have to not get away with replays. I think when I expanded outside it didn't open properly. Speed check, flaps 1. Bug the flat 1 speed. I forgot to select flat 30 the FMC. Blow max that anyway, because... yeah, too draggy. Too draggy. Flat 5. Speed brake's only armed, that's fine. Wow, yeah, it's flying way too draggy. Flight recorder is a DLC, it's broken. Yeah, I'm not going to use it. Can't expand it. No worries, guys. Alright, flap 5 on glide arming approach. Glide slope capture. Missed approach altitude 3,000 feet set. Looks like I'm landing in Glasgow. 42 knot headwinds. Lovely. 132 knot ground speed. Co-pilot's PFD screen is crazy. Yes, it's a mirror image of mine. Scenery looks very good. There we are. So this should be idle thrust now, but it's having to add a lot of thrust. The flap drag model is pants. There's no other way of putting it. I'm running it via the Windows Store version, so not sure what issues I'm having. Yeah, sounds good. Just sort of watching the behaviour of the aircraft. Oh, what is going on here? The terrain display is awful as well. Let's turn all that off. Okay, so 9 miles. We've got a stonking headwind, 40 knots, which is why our ground speeds are very low. So we're going to delay configuring until around sort of 4 or 5 miles. Ooh.
2,500.
That's the external views, guys, anyway. No texture loading issues there. I think it looks very good. Not referring to how it looks in 2020. Sort of have to do a direct comparison, wouldn't we? Oh, you could change that, Thompson. Ah, that's good to know, Thompson. There are some settings you can change. Okay, good to know. But the autopilot on this is very good. I have to admit, it's pretty good. Where's VNav gone? I've lost all VNav guidance now. Yeah, forget flying non-precision. Yeah, guys, I don't want you saying it's better, or thinking I'm saying it's better than the iFly Max. It's not. I don't think you can fly non-precision approaches in this using VNav. It's disappeared. But for anyone that's new to flight simulation and wants to perhaps fly a Max, give it a go. And get yourself a decent third-party one. Okay, the iFly 737 Max. But the VNav in descent of this is very, very good. VNav is DLC. Yeah, probably. It doesn't bode well, but on the career I can already see purchase credits and also purchase liveries. Right, approaching 5 miles. Let's configure gear down, flap 15, match speed, landing checklist, start switches, continuous. Oops. Recall checked. Speed brake on green light. Landing gear down 3 green. Water brake is set to 3 holding flaps. Flaps 25. Flap 30. We're going to hand fly this and see what's what. Flaps, we've got 30 green light, lights on, checklist complete. Well, I've got master cautions. Oh, it's these bleeds that come on when you have high thrust. So the max should stabilise flap 30 around 0 to 1 degree and the thrust around 50%. But the auto throttle here is very sensitive. Let's see how we get on today. Let's get my seating position. Nice. Disconnecting the auto throttle. About 50%. Disconnecting the autopilot. Where's my speed going?
1,000.
Checked. Let's come on speed. There's a bit of a sort of weird oscillation going on. God, I've got way too much thrust on here. I mean, it's too much thrust in an NG, let alone a max. So I've got that stabilised about 60. Way too much thrust for final. It should be at 50, 52, 53. Yeah, unfortunately I can't cancel the blinking auto throttle light. The pitch maybe is good, but the thrust is too high. So you see how it's, I'm not sort of chasing the speed, but I'm having to add more thrust to maintain VRF plus 5. Big blown down wind here a little bit. Oh, I mean, yeah, someone made a really good comment. Look at the ND, the way the wind gusts are modelled in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 are terrible. It's going from 18 to 27 instantly, and it's just not realistic. Gusts are very gradual changes but can be quite quick, not instant. That's making it very difficult to maintain and control this speed. The PAPI indications are good and matching the glide slope for now. Let's see what happens. I'm going to follow the PAPIs when I get close and ignore the glide slope, but the thrust and the gusts in the wind, not good at all. 3 whites correcting, checked. Watch the rate of descent now. Whoa.
200.
See how it is with this little crosswind landing. Continue. Glide slope and PAPI deviation's very good.
100.
Slight. Oh, keep descending a bit high now. Keep descending. That's okay.
50, 40, 30, 20.
Oh, what a stutter. Hold it. Oh, so floaty. Right, rudder. Head on into wind. Alright. No, not good. Why is my reverse not working? The aileron into wind is just no... Oh, full right rudder! Full right! Come on! Come on, that's full right. Full right. I should be on the right hand side of the runway now. Reverses aren't working. Right, that's full right rudder now. And now we've slowed down, the wind's become less effective. Where's this brand new aerodynamics model? With this sort of behaviour, when I put the right rudder in to decrab, nothing happened. Well, it did decrab, sorry, the rudder worked, but I instinctively put aileron into wind and I just didn't need it. I could have kept the no roll. Yeah, it wasn't great. For a game, yeah, fine. But for real life, no. Yeah. And massive sort of ground effect of something. Like, I came down fast over that threshold. I should have plonked that down. Instead, it just sort of hit an invisible cushion of air. But, yeah. I see a lot of people talk about X-Plane, and again, I love all sims, Microsoft and X-Plane, but X-Plane is the way to go if you want it to handle. If you want the plane to handle as close as real life, it's the way you got to go. This is not close to real life. Anyway, let's clean up. 2000 standby. It's like I was sinking quite a lot over the threshold, and then all of a sudden I was like, "Oh, something saved me." An invisible whoopee cushion, perhaps, that stopped me from sinking and smashing onto the runway. Yeah, probably. Right, flaps up. However, today's flight, the default Asobo 737 MAX, hasn't gone as badly as I thought it would. There's certainly some positives. Certainly some positives. Right, there we go. I'll crank up the APU. God knows where I'm going. I can't see. I'm not looking where I'm going. I'm just taxiing around Glasgow. Default airports as well are just no good. Oh, there's like a GA aircraft on every stand. I thought I'd turn them all off. I think... Is everyone free in that corner? No, there isn't. I'm gonna... Oh, I'll just take a steep right here. There we are. Jim, what do you think? Oh yeah, thought so. Thought so, Jim. Useful as ever. Right. So where do I taxi on to? Where's the where's like the yellow line? Oh, there it is. How do I get onto that air bridge then? Oh, I don't know. I just don't know where any of the stands are, the default airports. I had a massive stutter. I thought Microsoft had fixed that. Look at all the skid marks on my nose. I thought Microsoft fixed all these stutters. That had a massive stutter in the flare there. Right, I think that, look, I'm in these white lines. We'll park it here. Okie dokie. So that's all good. That's all good. Speed brake should be completely disarmed. 3,100, 100. Flight directors off. That's on steady. Probes off. Oh, GPU's available. So you should have two blue lights there now, but we are on AC power with the APU. Let's shut down the engines. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Glasgow. I have successfully completed a... Oh, stutterfest. I have successfully completed a flight in the MAX. We did on our first day of stream, but this is the first dedicated stream. There she is, in one piece. How do we conclude today then with my thoughts of the aircraft? Now look, it's usable, okay, the default MAX. And if you're new to simming, fine. If you want to fly the MAX, give it a go. It's sort of 85% modelled with regards to following my SOPs and getting the correct response. A lot of it isn't. Things I like, the takeoff was actually not too bad and the control inputs, but with the crosswind you should have a significant requirement to keep aileron into wind, whereas in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 it's exactly the same in 2024. I can't feel any difference there. But on the rollout and the takeoff roll, the rudder is more responsive. It's behaving in a little bit more of a realistic way. Now the FMC in this is pretty good. I was quite impressed with that, and the autopilot I think was actually very, very good. That's difficult to model. The pitch commands especially were very representative of what I'd expected, both level change VS. VNAV in the initial descent was very good. We had common VNAV, the appropriate pitch modes with idle thrust and maintaining speed, and then it just broke. It broke from around when we passed that waypoint just before descent to Glasgow, and then yeah, on the approach it was unusable. But no, it captured the ILS. The thrust was way too high for the majority of the approach of what I'd expect. I checked closed hold. The glide slope and pappies were pretty close here in Glasgow, but when I held the attitude, it just floated and floated and floated, and then on the rollout I had to use full rudder to just try and keep it on the centre line. I only had about a 15 knot crosswind, so I don't know. It's a bit glitchy. But look, wait until we get a high fidelity add-on. Will we see the default 737 MAX again? I don't think so, but you never know. If they make significant improvements, I might be able to try it again. But overall score, we'll stick with that original 6 out of 10. It went up to 7, but we'll give it 6. And I think that's a fair analysis. Could you take it on VATSIM and use? Yeah, you could do. You struggled to fly into any approach that wasn't an ILS. If you wanted to use VNAV, you couldn't. But VS, you could utilise. Taxis quite well, but yeah, if you wanted to take on that sim, you could easily and accurately fly it there, fly it as you would in real life. So yeah, look, it was a bit of fun today. Some people have been asking me to do this a dedicated stream, and it's been fun. But for now, I'll probably stick to some other add-ons. I'd like to try some of the other default aircraft in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. I know the ones that Innie builds have had some influence on. I've heard are very good, and I'd love to continue my career at a stream very, very soon. But yeah, we'll have to see how the sim develops, but at least we had no issues with it crashing and whatnot. I hope that's a fair analysis anyway. I'll look at some of the comments before I sign out because we couldn't get the replay to work. The Any Bells do the airliners? Yes, they make good default airliners now as well. The Phoenix A320 we can have a look at perhaps, and you know how much I love the Airbus as well. I've heard it has had some few little bugs and glitches here though, some people were talking about it earlier. Roberto Martin, was the trim adjustment still difficult to manage? Yeah, oh god, have I not highlighted that? The trim is crazy. In fact, let's just have a quick look at the... let me just go back out of drone cam view here. I just want to check the stabiliser, see how quickly it moves with... Yeah. You can see how quickly that's moving, but even though it's moving faster than it should, it's having such a massive impact on pitch. It's incredibly unrealistic. So yeah, that needs to be adjusted and changed. The stabiliser trim moves way too fast and has incredible amount of pitch input on the aircraft as well. CJ said he wouldn't have played for that flight. No, I don't blame you. Parking brake said that Tim Biscuit's brilliant as well. Some banter on the approach. Shame it didn't get the replay to work, but yeah, unbelievable. Lots of guest landing rates, but unfortunately I haven't got Fly Live to work yet. I'll have to see what it goes. Xbox approved, yes. Well, there we are. That's the flaps too. Yeah, Henry. There's lots wrong with it. But you can use it. Get yourself the iFly 737 Max if you want a realistic 737 Max, and that's got some work to do as well. But it ain't half bad. Right, that's it. I hope you guys enjoy Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Looks like they've gotten through their initial launch teething issues. I've certainly not experienced those issues today. And it's going to develop into something quite nice. And look, it's fun. I love playing the career mode. We're going to do some more of that. I'll look at some of the other aircraft. So we'll do some more streams this week. Wesley, Saws, how do you reset the career mode? There is a way of doing it because I played of it before I started my career playlist. Have a look on Discord. It's under the settings and all your stats. Anyway, thank you very much to everyone that popped in, to all the members. Thank you for continued support as well. Really appreciate it. Enjoy what's left of the weekend, and I'll see you all on another live stream very soon. Good night from me.